Okay, what we've got here is a double transmission gearbox, and I'm going to show you the procedures to put it together for the gear ratio of 12.7 to 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our eyelets into our chassis first. So I'm going to install them using the with the help of the Allen key here. We can just drop them into place, just like this. So there's 8 eyelets in total. Unfortunately, both those eyelets fell out on the other side there. These eyelets support the shafts and they create a barrier so that the plastic, the metal shafts don't ride on the plastic. Instead, they'll ride on these metal eyelets. There we go. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our gears, drive gears, onto our motors. And then we'll get those out of the way. We're going to take, there's our motor brackets right here. Our motor support bracket. I'm going to make sure that the gears are flush with the end of the drive shaft. Our next move here is we're going to install this. So this drive gear has 2 separate housing areas. So we're going to install the inner housing on the right-hand side right now, and the gears numbers are numbered G3, G2, and G1. So these right here are G3s. This here is our G2s, and these right here are our G4s. So with our G3s, so it calls for a G3 going this direction with this plastic shaft, with this particular drive gear. And then this outer shaft calls for a G3. Calls for a nut. And then it calls for this would be a G4. And the G4 and the nut and the Allen key will fit together like this. And this will sit like this. And once I have it together, I'll put this screw in. I'll line up the shaft in the correct location. And then I'll tighten the Allen key down so that locks that in place. Then I'll get going with the other side. The other side, this inner shaft will go G2, spacer going this direction. This will be a G3 facing this direction. Its outer shaft will go G4 with the Allen key in the direction of the slot of the gear, in the slot of the holder of the gear. And we'll go G2, G2, G3, G3. So we'll go G3 and G3. However, there's a spacer on this side. And I can put my outside chassis holder on, line it up, and get the shaft going, put the screw in, get the shaft to the correct location, tighten down the Allen key. And as you can see, I have one part, I have a shim right, or I have a spacer right here, and I've forgotten the spacer on the upper shaft on this side. So the eyelet is slid out, and so I'm going to have to remove that side. So I'm going to take this apart quickly. And I've got to be careful because I'm going to slide the spacer right here. And slide that back together and put the screw back in. Like so. And then I have to tighten the Allen key to support everything. My next move here is to pop my motors into place, making sure that they'll snap into place. And then I can turn my shafts and see that my motors on the inside turn, and my gears aren't making too much noise, meaning that everything was installed correctly. And that is my video on how to put together a twin ratioed gearbox for our mini sumo bots. Thank you very much.